This here is what we have actually created from the 2026 World Cup. Over here we have the lighter version, and this is the darker version of it. Depends on which one you really want to create. So whichever one, I got you covered. So in the previous video, we have gotten the data into Power BI, and we have actually used free Claude to actually get some things done. So I'm going to show you how to actually, make a dashboard look more beautiful like this. If you have not watched the previous video on how we got everything put together before the visualization part of it and the design part right in here right now, go ahead and take a look at how you can do that. The link in the description box. So make sure you actually, subscribe and follow for more videos just like this. If you want to master how I actually design my dashboard, watch this and be very patient to actually follow me step by step as I show you every single thing you need to do. So this is what it is. If you have created everything like this and you don't have them organized the way I have mine right now, calm down, don't worry. Now, follow me. Look at this one here. I'm going to show you the height and the width. Then when I come over to this particular part here, where it says format, open it up. Then open up size and style. So the height is actually 866 for the width. Then horizontal is very important, and the vertical aspect is very important. You're going to have it right in here. The reason why I'm showing you this is that if you do this exactly, you and I are going to have the same exact thing. Now, once you have actually gotten that done, let's come over here. This chart, remember, is not yet formatted. So we're just going to come over here and look at the height, then look at the width, look at the horizontal, look at the vertical. Those numbers are very important. Pick them exactly the way it is. Okay, let's come over to this particular part right in here. The very first thing you have to look at is going to be the height, then the width, the horizontal, and the vertical. Pause the video, type them in the way it is, right? Don't skip anything. Don't add or subtract. Am I correct? Let's do it again. So over here, we do the same thing to this particular one. This time around, if your position here is 100% okay, now focus on this one and check the height and the width for it. Then do the same thing to this particular one and make sure you have all of those particular labels beneath it and percentage inside it. Now let us talk about this one. It is not yet formatted, but you have to know the position and as well the height and the width to have the same exact thing just like me. Can you see everything right here? Do you see this right now? Very important. Then what about this one here? Can you see it now? Then you can see I have this particular space to be some kind of blank for something very important, which I'm not so sure if we already have it created, but we asked Claude to actually write it for us. We're going to check it out. Okay. Before then, let's talk about this particular one here. It's very important because this is the main focus for spin. So now check the height and the weight as well. So once you're done, let's do something different. So right now I'm going to come over to here and let's search for insights. Insights. Okay. I think we should have it. I'm going to open up my DAX here. So I have narrative. So right now, as you can see, we have spin narrative here. So pick it up. This is what we want. And now we can resize it and bring it over to this particular spot. I love using, table for this. I don't know why. I'm just addicted to the table. So I'm going to make this one smaller, shut it down, bring this up. Now come over here, convert to table. Now we have something like this. Make sure you resize it. So once you've done this right now, make sure it's sitting in the middle of this. Okay, now we come over here, we increase this to like 15. Now it's popped. Okay, forget about the color for now. This is what we want. Now it is time for we to create our dashboard background. It's gonna be two different colors, dark, light, version. So go ahead and bring up your PowerPoint. So here we have PowerPoint here. Open it up is very important in this particular step. So before the PowerPoint opens, we just have to go ahead and take a screenshot of our dashboard right in here, which is very, very important. To do that right now, your Windows key, Shift, and S on your keyboard will help you take this particular portion here as a screenshot. So be very exact. Once you have done this, let us go to the PowerPoint we have opened. Now click on the blank presentation. Wipe up what you have right in here, take it off and paste it in like this. Do you get it right now? Okay, now I'm going to come over here, right click and create a new slide. In this new slide, I'm going to wipe off everything that I have right in here for the first time. So it's been wiped off. So what I'm going to do right now is to right click here and create this particular, just use the format background here. Once that is done, you can move your format background anywhere to have more space to take a look at what you're doing. Let us keep it right in here. So next now is to use the gradient fill. So once you have done that, we're going to actually use some couple of stops to get this done. If you want us to have the same exact thing, click over here right now and follow the same color code I'm going to use right away, right? So the very first one is going to be this one, then scroll all the way down here, click over here and click over more colors. So once you have done that, you can either change the RGB or you change the hash code. So for the RGB, let us do 659. So over here we have 6, right in here we have 5, and over here we have 9. You see this right now? So you click on OK. Then once you have done that, we're going to actually move this particular stop closer to it right in here. So forget about how it is right now, the direction. You don't have to bother about that particular one. So right now we have to change the color. This time around we don't want to select a color that is as deep as the one we have just used right now. So we click over here again, we go to more. And this time around, we're going to go over to here and we choose to use 14. Next is going to be 32, so 3, 2. And the last one is going to be 53, which is going to be 5 and 3 right in here. So you click on OK. So I'm going to move this one closer a little bit, just right in here. Now, we have to change this one to be much more lighter than the previous one. So this is how you can actually create a gradient if you want something good. Let's do this again. So right in here, we're going to choose to use 23, then 59 over here, 5, 9. And lastly, we're going to use 98, which is 9 and 8. So once you've done that, you click on OK. You can see it's changing. So we're going to add another one, move this one over here now. So on this one, we're going to go ahead and repeat the same thing we have used over here, which is this very one that is here. It has been repeated over here. So we're going to add another one right now. Then we'll repeat this particular one over here. And finally, I think we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I think 5 of it. Let's move this one closer, add another one right in here. So we just have to change this one to this one. So once you have done this right now, it is time to choose how this goes. To make it a nice gradient, we have to come over here. You can see different, direction that you can actually use right in here. Can you see it now? So you can change the direction or your angle. Can you see how it is? So we can just swap whatever you want from here to give you what you want. Let us take this one to closer a little bit to this one. So just do this. So once you have done this now, we move this right in here. So choose how you want this to be like. This is exactly what I want, and I have it this way. So once you have created this right now, the next thing we have to do is to actually create our shapes, which is very, very important. That is where we have to come over here and copy this and actually bring it and paste it right in here. Okay, once we have done this right now, the next thing we have to do is to make sure we actually go over to insert here. Then we come over to shapes and we bring in this particular shape that has rounded corner. So drag it down and make sure you have a white space right in here. It's very important. Then fill it up to this level here. Once you start reducing, you start seeing what is inside. So once we have gotten this done now, the next thing you have to do is just to make sure we some kind of go ahead and let us just make it a bit wider, duplicate it and keep another one at the top right in here. This time around, this one should be reduced a bit to this level. Once you've done that, create another one, and this time around, make this one to be rounded a little bit, then keep it somewhere around here. So you can see, to you now it's not making any damn sense, right? Don't worry, it will surely make a sense. So we just have to go ahead and duplicate this one, then bring it over here. This particular space should be much more wider. Then we just have to, then the rounded corner shouldn't be that much, just a little. So once you're satiated, duplicate it and move this one to this side here. So reduce this one, duplicate this one here and keep it right here. Be conscious about the white space, it's very important. Okay, now duplicate this one and bring it over to this particular spot. Then let us move it to here. Now duplicate this one and reduce it. Now we bring it over here. So for we to use the same height, let's go with this one. Then we're not going to touch the height of this one. Instead, the weight should be reduced in line with this one. Then we just have to go with this one here. So this one here is going to come over to this particular spot. Then we just have to go ahead and do this now. On this one, we just have to make sure we reduce it. Then it is time for me to fill up this particular one. We'll fill up this one here. This one here can be here. Don't fill it up. Leave it the way it is. So now we just have to copy or duplicate this one and keep this over here. So once you've done that, you just move it and have this spacing. Okay, let me say we have everything we want. We have used this to set the position. Now we have to remove this very one from here. We have something that looks like this, which is not really cool at all, right? So what I'm going to do is just to make sure I some kind of select one, Control A, and I can actually use my up and down arrow to resize, to get the right spacing at the edge and also at the bottom right in here. So once I'm cool with this right now, it is time for me to start working on it. So right now, go ahead and bring up this particular, format shape here. So with this, let's just use the fill color. We go with the darker one. So go to the line and turn off the line. We don't want any line for it. So here you go, you have something like this over here. On this one, we're going to actually go over here and choose the white color. This is what we want to use here, and there should be no line for it. So on this particular one here, we're going to use a gradient. So choose the gradient, and it's going to actually adopt the gradient we have used over here. So right now we have to change the orientation. Am I correct? Orientation? I don't know. So how it is being, the direction of the gradient is what we're going to change. So right now I'm going to actually subtract from it. Let me just take off this particular darker part of it here. So we have something like this. So I can decide to actually choose any direction I want. So I can come over here now and start doing this. So I love something like this. Maybe I want to make sure this one is double. They're not too dark, but I'm going to have two of it. So now here we go. We can quickly go straight up to this particular part and say no line. So this is what we have right in here right now. I still want it to be a bit darker, so we just have to introduce another darker color in the midst of it, like this. So once we introduce this darker color here, we make sure the darker color are some kind of closer to each other. So we start moving things around. right in here to create the feel we want. So now we can go ahead and reduce the transparency of this one, or the brightness of it should be reduced, or can you see it now? So just affect it anyhow you like to get exactly what you want. So we have this as a gradient. So once I've gotten this right now, we can quickly go ahead and actually copy this one now for this very one here. So once we have done that, we just have to just make sure we take off some stuffs from here to create the fill we want right in here. So those stuffs here will be reshaped. So now we can quickly go straight up to here now and copy it for others. Can you see how it looks now? This is how I've gotten my gradient, background created. So on this one, I'm going to choose a white color for it, white color. And over here, I'm going to click on this one and select the actual color here, no gradient for that particular one. Then for this one here, click on it and let's go straight up to this particular part and choose to use this. So let us check it out. Can you see what we have done right now? This is what we want to have. Okay, we have just gotten something like this. So now I want to affect this one a little bit because this particular part I want it to be darker for it to pop. So right click and click on this. So you just have to make sure you move this and you come over here, you change your angle. Can you see how it is now? Can you see now? This is exactly what you have. So once I've gotten this now, this is exactly what you need to have for now. The next thing you have to do is to just go over to the home. Let's go over to where it says insert. From insert, we can see where it says text box, or drag it down here and type in World Cup 2026 on it. So we can now move our World Cup 2026 to our desired place, which is position it over here. So now we can go straight up to here now and we introduce a particular font that is very bold. This is cool. Just push it to something 20 something here. Then gonna position it over here now. Then let's change the color. Let's do white color, but not too bright, something like this. Looks okay. Then over here from cup area, I'm gonna click on it and I'll do something right now. So I'm gonna introduce this very bluish color. So let's go with this brighter one here. So if I've done this right now, to me, it's not popping out the way I want. So what I'm going to do right now is to make sure what is selected is the background. Then once that is done, I'm going to actually right click and just format background. And I'm going to change the direction. So we have to introduce the darker part of it to be here. Can you see now? I have moved the darker part to be here. Then this World Cup will now pop out the way I want. You understand? So you can decide to just highlight here and change this to a different font if that is what you want. Can you see? So you can just do anything, play around with it and actually take a look at what you have. So what about something like this? Okay, now we have this. Let us go to my folder. I'm going to go to my download file over here. We have download. And on the download here, we have this image of the Spain World Cup. So I'm going to paste it right in here. This is how I create my design. Let's resize this one. So go to Google, you can actually have this downloaded, or you can actually ask GPT to actually create it for you. Depends on what you really want to have. So I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. So once I have this right now, you can go ahead and just duplicate this one, then bring this over here. I'm just going to type in here, Spain. So reduce this and keep it around here. Then let's go over to home. From home, click over here and very loose. So use this. So I might want to change the font I'm using to a different font. Keep it that way, you can actually see what you're doing. So let's get into home. So right now, let's see what font will look better on this. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Arial Black here. Not bad. So once that is done, we have to increase it. Let's see how it looks. So we can position it right in here. So once we have done that now, so we have to right click again and go over to format shape. So turn off the outline of that one, then go ahead and duplicate it. Once you have done this right now, we have to resize this very one and make it a bit smaller. So I'm going to keep it beneath this one here. So once I've done this right now, I will have to come over here and make a transparency for it. So once done, just copy this one and keep it right here. Just type in here, it's a static text. So 2026 World Champion. So you see this now? So it's going to be right in here. Now come over here and reduce this to not look this very huge. Okay, so here we go. We have this. Highlight here and choose to use this color. So for it, then reduce this. So if need be, let's select this one and make it bold. So it pops. This is what we want to have right in here. So we have just gotten this one here created. So we have to use this one to actually create our darker version of our, what do I call it? Of our dashboard. Then next, we're going to create the lighter version of it. It's very easy. It's just to make a little changes and that is all. Let's go straight up to File here and go to Export. Then let us export this. So I use BG01. Once I've done that now, just this one, I'm going to go over to Power BI environment, go over here, make sure there's no chart selected, go over here and click on this particular part, then browse, go to where you have it right in. So do this. Now it looks ugly because those particular charts here, they have background right on them. So the very first thing we have to do is to click on this one, come over here and turn off the background. So once you've done that, you just have to come over to this particular part here, category, and do this. Interesting. So call out, choose to use a brighter color. So now we increase the value for it. So can you see now? It's popping and it's making a lot of sense than what we have before. So we just have to increase it more. Okay, so now here we go. We have something like this. Position it to actually sit right in here. So if you look at it, we have this particular part. We have to take off that particular part. So let's quickly go straight up to where we have cards and scroll all the way down to here we have accent bar and turn it off. So that is gone, right? So now we have this particular part. For now, this white part, just don't worry about it. Click over here and go straight up to where you will have this particular part. Sorry, this is this, turn it off. So once you've done that, quickly, the next thing you have to do is to make sure you go over to the x-axis and go straight to the value area. Click on the value and you make sure it's brighter enough to be looked at. So the next thing we have to do right now is to go to the y-axis again. So y-axis. On the y-axis, we only need the value. For the title, we turn it off. So go to the value and we'll bring the value up. So here we go. So once you've done that now, we have to go for the gradient and we turn it off horizontal, and as well the vertical part of it should be turned off. That actually makes our chart look very clean. So the next thing we have to do is to come over here and make sure this one is the title. We don't have subtitle for it, that is all. So in that case, we just have to go over here and make sure we are using this brighter version of it. So you can resize it to make sure it sits right and you centralize it where it should be. Can you see it now? Take your time now to resize it. So once you have done that, now we have to click on this one. Doing this to this will actually be applicable to this one, right? So we can quickly go straight up to this very part here, turn it off. And the next thing we have to do now is to go over to where it says x-axis. Yeah, turn off the value, we don't need it. So now the next thing is to go to the y-axis, and you make sure you actually switch it to 50, and now we go with this, right? So once you've done that, the next thing you have to do now is to go over to the title, then select this very brighter one, then go to the subtitle here, and you choose something that is not that very popped, which is going to be this very one here. I love to use this italic sometime. I don't know why I'm so addicted to italic for subtitle. So this is cool. So right away, we have to talk about the color that we're going to use for our charts. So we don't need to actually invent new colors into here now. We have to use a matching color that is actually from our background. So how do you do that? If you're good at colors, it's very easy for you to choose from here. Go to this particular brush, scroll down here, click over here. Now there are several colors that matches. This one is very calm if you want something like this. Otherwise, go ahead and click on more colors, and you can mix your color from here. As you're changing this position, you're watching your cards to actually, give you the output. So I would love something like this, right? So once you love this, the next thing you have to do is to step out from here, and now we have to bring in our data label. So go ahead and turn on the data label. So we have it, open it up, and make sure we push it inside. So we go over from here from auto, and we scroll down, we come over here, we choose to have this, right? So now this is it. So if white will pop out very well, let's keep it on white. Okay, I think white looks a bit okay. So now we just have to come over here and click, then apply. So you can see automatically we have gotten this one done. So what we need to do right now, over here we have to go straight up to the y-axis here and turn off the title for it. So you see this particular scroll we have right on it. We just don't want it. We just have to increase this one and bring this down a little bit to still align properly with this one here. So once that is done, we have to sit this right in here. So the first thing we have to do is to come over to here, although it's sitting on a white background, but I still love to turn it off. Then let's go over to this particular part here and make sure we go straight up to the border. So from border right now, we scroll down, we change this one to something like this. It's still a separator and I love it. So that is exactly what you need to do right in there. Then for this particular spin narrative, I just want to go straight up to here. So let's go straight up to, okay, I want to change it without affecting the merger itself. So instead of me to use spin narrative, I'm going to just type in here, champion insights. So now I didn't change the measure, I just changed the name that appears right in here. So can you see it now? So once that is actually satiated, now to you, now we have to make sure we pop it up a little bit. So what we can do now is to go over to format. So inside format here, we locate the header and we put the header on something like 15. So that is not bad. So let us come over here and select a color that will be very perfect in it. So this color will be cool right in it. So that is beautiful. So the next thing we have to work on now is on this particular one right in here. So clicking on this one now, we go straight up to here, we turn off this one. And over here, we just have to go straight up to this particular part now and copy the exact color we are using right in here. So copy, go over here, click over here, over here. Now you can copy this hex code from here. So once you've copied the hex code, we go straight up to this very value area, this values area. So now we have background color and the alternate. So I'm going to choose more and paste in the one I've brought in. That is the beautiful thing you have to do. So go to the alternate background color here and choose to use the same exact code in it. So once you've done that, the next thing we have to do right now to finish work here is to go ahead and look at the header. Then we choose to actually do the same thing on the header. So here we go. We have the same exact thing. Now for the header, we change its color to be something much more brighter, like this very one right here. Interesting, right? So I'm going to increase the header a little bit. So once I've done that now, let us step off from the header. Now we can go over to the value area and we'll just select this color. And over here under the alternate text, we select a calm color. You understand? More calm than this one. So once we have gotten this now, we will change this one from 10 to 15 and let us take a look at it. So T is huge right now. We just have to go straight up to, let's say 11 and see what we have. So 11 is not bad. We can just do this. So now this is where we have to turn off the total to give us more room, not to have a scroll. Go to total, turn it off. Interesting. So once we have done this right now, you see these particular lines we have right in here. I hate them. I don't like them. Let's take them off. So go straight up to your gradient, your grid, and over here select the same exact color. So they are gone, right? Now we have to go over to the border area. So if you still want to have the border, what you can do right now is to change it to a color that will actually match what we want. So I want something a bit darker than that. Okay, light off, that is good. Okay, now with this right now, I want to actually add a bar to this. So what you can do right now is for we to go straight up to here under the cell element, and we can scroll all the way down here and choose to have this particular part, which is the total goal difference, and choose bar here. But to me, it's not looking better. So what I'm going to do right now is going to go straight up to here and add a new measure to get that done. So I can add the measure anywhere, new measure. So the measure that is actually displaying on the table right now is total goal difference. So goal difference rather. So we have to make sure we just say bar equals total goal difference. That is all you have to do. So bring it into here now. Once you brought it in here, then let's go straight up to this particular part here and double click on this one and just remove it and put just a dot on it. That is all you need to do. So once you have done that right now, let's quickly go over to the format area. Click on the format area, go to cell element, scroll down, and data bars. Before that, let us click on the dot we have actually added. Then we do this. So we can click on this and we can go ahead and change the color to match what we want right from here. So I would love to actually use something like this here that still complements the color I'm using right now. So you can see we have it this way. But one thing is not adding up right in here. That is the numbers showing up right here. So you go over to this particular part to fix it, then choose show bar only, then click on this. This is better. So we have more things to actually adjust. That is the title here. We just have to make sure we select a very good color for it, this very one. And once we scroll all the way down, we have subtitle, open it up and select something not too bright like that one. Let's go with this one. Then I told you I'm addicted to italic on this. So this is exactly what we have right in here, better than what it were before. So how about this? So if you love this now, just make sure it sits right very well in this particular part. This is what you want. Now you have to talk about this. So multi-select them like this. And once you've done that, make sure you come over here to find the background and turn them off. So here we go, we have this. Now, this is looking ugly this time around, but don't worry, we have a fix. So quickly, we have to change this particular one to a brighter color, go to colored value, come over here and select this. So once you're done, let's go away. Now select this particular one now and hold your control key to select multiple one of them. Okay, and that way to select them is just to make sure you highlight them like this. They are selected, come over here and, oh no, where the heck is, okay. some part of this one is added, subtract it by holding your control key to click on them. Now you can turn them off. So once you have done that now, to change the content inside, you have to highlight and click on this particular part, choose this particular color, do this particular one as well. Let's do this. And finally, let's do the same one right in here. Okay, so once you have done this right now, the next thing you have to do is to actually fix this here. So click on this now. Once you've done that, let's go over to the slices. Then we actually go to the color. We open up this particular part here and we select this. This is the main color I want to use. I love this color, I wouldn't touch it. So I'm going to come over to this draw here. And right now, I want to select a color that is complementing this very color I have right in here. So what am I going to do? First of all, let us go out of this place and go straight up to this very part here. This time around, I want to make sure I use a solid color. And this is the color I want to use right in here, much more darker. So once I have this now, I can quickly go straight up to here, export this, and choose to use the same exact format I have used before. So replace this one, then say just this one. Just this one. So now, once we get back in here, don't select any charts or any object. Just remove and let's go back. Then go ahead and pick it up. So we have something like this now, right? So if you feel like it's too dark, you can change it, decide your choice. So right away, I'm going to click on this one now, and let's go straight up to draw, and I'm going to select any color that will complement the color I have right now. So this color is fainting into the background a little bit. So here we go. We have this color. So don't forget the color how we are using, this one here. Then once I've done that, I'll select this particular one. I'll choose to use the same exact color like this. You understand? So click on this one now, and over here, choose to use this color. Then go for this one. Choose to use the same exact color. Then click on this particular one. Choose to use this color. Choose to use the same exact color for this very part. So here you go, you have something like this. So right now I'm going to go ahead and use a different color over here. Then this is the time to introduce a new color that will still complement. Can you see now? So I'll go with something like this. See that now? So for this one, they're looking alike. I have to make sure I change it. I'll come over to here and select draw, then click on this one, and I'll choose to have it on this. So what about this one? So you see that now? So this is exactly what we have right now. Okay, if you look at it, we have another insight. Let's go to this particular narrative. And we have champion narrative here. So if I bring it into a card now, I'm going to have something like this. So I just want this one to be on focus. Come over here now, turn off this one, then come over here and turn the background off. So let's quickly go straight up to this particular part and drag it into here. So Spain is the main focus. So doing this is 100% cool. I love to change the font type to something very funny. I don't know if this is cool. So do whatever you like and choose whatever suits your dashboard. So we have something like this. You see this now? Interesting. All right, we have just created the darker version of our background, and here you go. The next thing you have to do right now is just to say overview. Then we just have to do duplicate of this. Then double click on this particular one here. Light rather. Just do light. So once we have done this now, we just have to come over to here right now and start working on it. What you're going to do here is to make sure you select this particular one, Ctrl D to duplicate it. And once you have done that, it is time for you to focus on what we have right in it. So now it is time for you to make changes. So the first changes we're going to make now will be these very cards right in here. So hold your cards. Once you've done that, come over to this particular part where it says solid fill. Then choose white for all of them. Interesting. So we have something brighter now. So the next thing we're going to actually handle is this particular part here. So here we go. On this part, we want to select something darker, like white, but not actual white. So we choose to use this. You see this now? Then over here, we choose to use something closer to it. Let's go with this. So over here, we keep going up. Let's go with this. Now I'm going to take off some of the stops away from here. So over here, I'm going to choose the actual white like this. So can you see how I have gotten this one created right now? So on this particular part here, I'm going to choose to use this color. You see this now? Now let us talk about the actual background itself. We are going to actually start working on this by going over with this very one here. You see this now? Then we'll click over here now. Let's go with this, the third one here. So we go with this one. Now we'll pick up this very one. Then finally, we come over to this particular part here. We go back down to this one to create that fill. So we come over here now. I'm going to choose a color from here. So if you look at it now, it's looking a little bit, off. So I want to go straight up to this part again. You see this particular color I have here. I'm going to switch it to here. And then move this one to this particular part. You see this now. So now it is time for me to play around with the position that we have it right in. Can you see it? So once we have the position being played on, we're going to have something that looks like this. So now this one here is not suitable for the color we have it right on. So we have to change the color. Let's go straight up to here. And now we can choose to have it on the darker version like this. So don't touch this one, leave it the way it is. So you see this one, it has some kind of outline. I don't know. Fill color. Yeah, we've taken off the outline. So we have something that looks like this now. So let's see what we can do with this. Go to the file, export. So I'm going to do BJ2. So now we head up back to here now. We're on the lighter version, select this one, and let's go straight up to this very one here. So if you look at it right now, things are a little bit off from here as well. What we can do now is to make sure we start changing things over here to actually match what we want on the lighter version. The very first thing we have to work on is this particular one. We change it to a brighter color. Interesting. So once you've done that, now we come over here, we change this one to a darker color. You get it now. So go over here now, we choose to actually use the darker color for it as well. So this is popped enough. So we start to change this particular one here to give us the feel we want. So we have not worked on this one, even on the other one. So we're going to work on it. So we go over to the line itself here. Under the line, we are going to go ahead and choose to use this color. Let's go back to here. Click on this color. Click over here. More colors. We can touch the color a little bit to give us something much more better. But we've copied it. Now we go over to this part, go to color. Now we paste it in here. This is what we have. I think I love the feel like this. Don't touch it again. So once we are much more saturated with that, we go to the x-axis and we change the value of the x-axis to something darker. That pops, right? So I think we have We have title for it, we just have to turn it off. So we go over to the y-axis. For the y-axis, we have to crank up this. Wow, that is cool. So once we have that, the next thing we have to do right now is to touch the title for it. So do that to all your charts and take a look at how it is going to turn out. Now, as you can see, we have the lighter version of it, and the only thing that is different here is just this particular part here where I actually wrote how matches were decided. It's very important. Do the same thing right in this particular one as well. If you have not done that, I think this one still has some kind of, let me check. Yeah, we should go over here and the title should be turned off. It's very important. Over here, I can see here, I have the fill of the y-axis title to still be on. So make sure they're being turned off. Beautiful. So now, what is left? The next thing we have to add right now is easy. The color here should be changed to match the color we are using in our background. And let's go straight up to the line aspect here. Then we scroll all the way down, and right in here we go straight up to where we have the color. Click on the color and let us select this very color over here. Oh no, that is not it. I want to use this particular color. So I have to copy the color code and use it. What we can do is to go to color, come over here, go to more colors, then we copy. Once you have done that, you come over here and you click on this particular one. Then on the line aspect, you just have to scroll down. Now we have the color here. This is it. It rhymes. Okay, maybe your mind might be telling you that something is weird, right? Don't worry, you're not wrong and you're not alone. See this particular part here, we need it for something. Let's say you want to add more pages like the performance. Performance right in here. So this performance here is blank. I know that. Let us add some couple of icons to our pages. So what you can do right now is to do your Windows full stop or the dot on your keyboard. And over here, you start locating these very icons for champions. So we have this performance. Let's go with either of these particular ones here. I'm going to go with this particular one. And I'll go with this particular one as well. Then finally, I'll go with this particular one. No, this one is not good for it. Let's go with this very one. So once I've done this right now, I'm going to come over here and cut, Ctrl X to cut, right? So over here, I'll click over here now and paste in this. Then select again. I think we have to cut from here and leave the last one. This is difficult to get them. Okay, Ctrl X to cut and take off these ones. Hit enter key. Then over here we add this one to this particular one here. Make sure it's at the beginning of it. So now we have this. Now, this might not make sense to you, but it will right now. Let us come over here and under insert, go straight up to where you have this navigator, then page navigator. So here you go, you have this. Right? So you can resize it to fit into this particular part here. Resize it until you have what you want. You understand? So this is exactly what I want to see. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to format this to make it look better. So I come over to this particular style part here. Default, I'm going to come over to this border and turn it off. Then the fill as well and turn it off. So we go straight up to the top here under the font. So we choose to actually have it on a brighter color. You understand? So the default one should be a bit darker, not something very bright because it's not on focus. Okay, I'll go with this one. Then the selected one, choose selected and make sure you choose to have it on white, and you can even bold it. So it will be on focus because it is what has been selected, right? Now we now go on hover. On hover now, we now increase the size, the font size on hover. So when I hover over it, I have this effect on it. So when I hover over it right now, I want to have the color changed. So I can decide to use white. When I hover, I have this color. So you can decide to use a different color when you hover. You want to see something bluish, can you see it now? Depends on what you really want. So once we have done this right now, we can copy this away from here and we come over here. We go straight up to this particular part and we paste it in here. So can you see? So we come over here now and we paste this one over here. It's not making sense, right? So we are preparing this particular page for something different. So we come over here, I will bring in randomly either of those ones here. Let us bring this one in. Then we just do this. So we have this. If I click over here right now, you can see what I have here, the lighter version, and this, it gives us the darker version. Okay, there is something I'm not some kind of cool with. The spacing I have right in here is too tight. I love to actually work on that. Let's go over to the top here. And this time around, I think let's go back and check out what we have here now. Okay, to complement for that, we just have to bring this one down a little bit. Then this one should be up a bit. So once I've done that now, I'm going to hold my control key to select this and copy them. Once copied, I'll come over here. And I'm thinking this one, this one, this one should be moved away. So bring to front, select bring to front. Now move them and keep them right here. Now paste the one you have brought in. Once you have done that now, so this one here is white. This one here is this color. So let us go ahead and click and pick it and give it to this very one. Then this should be gone. This one is normal white, so we can actually replicate it easily. So we just go over here and we choose the white color from here and we'll leave this one the way it is. That is all we can do. So we'll now come over here now. We can export and replace it with the previous one we have used, or we have created rather. So the BGO one, just this one. We go over here. We do the same exact thing. Export. This one now, we are selecting different file type. So when you select different file type, you wouldn't see it. So I'm choosing JPEG. Then we replace this one. So before we go back to Power BI, I want you to remember where we are coming from. This particular one right on your screen. Now we'll come back here. This is what we now have. So we can go ahead and replace this with what we have just, updated. So the changes is very little. You might not notice, but we have a very nice update on it. So let's quickly go straight up to this particular one and update. Do something much more better. Let's go with 18. Not too bad. 18 looks fine, perfectly okay. So I don't want something very disturbing. So we go over here. We turn this one to 1.8. So how about this? Okay, you can add a slicer if you want. If I want to add a slicer right now, I can bring my slicer in here. It's an empty space, but make sure you're very creative. Don't just dump in a slicer here. It will make your whole work to be out of point.